My country people them, when I watch this video and listen, and then we'll talk after.
Just think about it. They had tried everything. They went to the field to recruit young men and women and train them to fight for our freedom. These are the ADF on the ground. Early in 2015, because they know that Cameroon will never negotiate with Ambazonia from a point of weakness. They left the diaspora. They went on the ground because these are patriots. These are selfless individuals. Let me bring all the other videos. You can see Benedict Kwa, Sheikh Kavi Wemeleng on the ground training our people. Train them, prepare them for battle. And when they train them, what happened? What did the field marshal did? What did the IG who came into Lebialem that had been liberated by the ADF? Who came there? What did they do? They went around arresting ADF soldiers, claiming that they were La Republique. So it did not start today with the Gozang. It did not start today with the Bui. This thing had been going on long ago. So these are the ADF soldiers.
Today na 24 Red Dragons. They keep this.
So USA, the people, the way they always claim, say the lawyers and the teachers strike. Na ye born Ambazonia and their terrorism. USA, the people, the way they always want you for believe. Say Anglophones, they be innocent. Say Anglophones, they be just protest. It was a peaceful protest for 2016. Then they want you for believe. Say na Paul Biya, out of nowhere, it just can't brutalize una. That's what they want you to believe. My country people then, Anglophones, especially the political elite, where they stand to benefit politically from any political concessions from Yaoundé. Now the people in that way, they fuel Ambazonia terrorism for their political expediency. I tell you something. I have the utmost respect for Nijon Frundi. The utmost. But I no go ever forgive you for a communique where ABCME write them, where SDF they write them. They talk about how Paul Biya declare war. Yes, when I don't listen to the warmongers, to the terrorists, ADF themselves, they talk them, they no put water for their mob. They tell una how they will start the gather Anglophone picking them, go for Nigeria, go train them for 2015. But then again, the terrorism, it goes way back before that. For 1990s, in 1997, 1999, they be done the bomb SDO and divisional officers for Kumbo. Nobody today is start. Now just say we no be aware of these things and because Cameroon did the way we did. People did hide information from each other. Now the reality that Anglophone terrorism, nobody na Paul Biya Kosam. And these Anglophone elites, the political elites, they know exactly, say they don't try since the 1980s forget political concessions from Yaoundé, but because of their own inability for play politics, because they be politically immature, it goes way back to when they will do infighting for Indele Munda and Foncha their time, where the British, they look at them and they talk to these people, they not be viable for run a country on their own. They must join Cameroon or join Nigeria. Now, why did they give them only two options? Because of their own juvenile way for play politics and their own infighting. Now, you want to tell me, say, the Anglophone elites, the political elites, parliamentarians, mayors, lawyers, doctors, teachers, they nobody know. Say you get a wing of the SCNC and the Amba terrorists like Ayabacho Lucas, where they already arm Anglophones them for attack Cameroon government. Are you telling me they did not know? Before they write that banner where they talk, say, only separation or federalism. What is separation? When you go to a sovereign state, you tell you say you want to cut a functioning part of that country, take them away, secessionism, that is a declaration of war. And every single one of those so-called lawyers and teachers, where they carried that banner, they knew exactly that, and they knew exactly what they were doing. The lawyers and teachers so-called demonstrations and strike, it was a front. It was an excuse where they be done the nurse them, the plan them for decades. It was just the excuse the Anglophones needed in order for make your territory ungovernable as they want them, in order for legalize armed banditry, corruption, beheadings, burying people alive, rapes, burning schools, hospitals, them for extort money from the poor masses on the ground. That's what they've always wanted. Yes, you could see people them today where they talk say, made them move Ayuk Tabe for condemning then dialogue with it. All them na Amber. All of them, they want exactly the same thing where the Amber terrorists they want them. Exactly the same. Which is what? For legitimize the so-called Ambazonian terrorists in their cause, for legitimize them, for play with them as if we have been equals or they get a legitimate grievance. Ambazonian terrorists have no legitimate grievance in Cameroon. None. Absolutely none. And the only solution to this terrorism is to kill them, kumkumize them till their kingdom come. If it takes 1 million years, so be it. In 2018-19, at the peak of Amber terrorism, when they actually had leverage, when they actually had influence, because they will get thousands of shit no white blacks in the bush where they will run around, and they will actually get some level of unity, some level of coordination, and some level of real leverage. At that time, at that peak, Cameroon government no go move them for prison for dialogue with them. Now for 2022, October the 9th, where they don't get no leverage, we don't kiki the food and tram, and then they don't fractionize themselves, you get 77 IG them, and then come a kind presidents them. It don't become a laughing stock on the national and international scene, even within the Amber terrorists themselves, so they laugh at themselves. It don't become for that level where themselves so they see and say it's going nowhere. They don't get the capability for recruit a single shit no white blast, make a carry gun go for Bush for 2022. All the Amber terrorists that they did for Bush today, they don't pick that gun more than 2 years ago. They don't get the capability for recruit any other person. Now that time, without any leverage, you think say Cameroon government, it go legalize or legitimize them, it go legalize the terrorism. It will never work. It will never work. And we cannot afford for reward bad behavior, for reward terrorists. So all the people them where they work at talk say dialogue, go dialogue with the terrorists them. Now Amber them all. Be it the fact that they don't like the violence. Yes, but they get exactly the same political agenda with the Amber terrorists. They want to legalize and legitimize them and their so-called cause. Anglophones will not be even get small sympathy for Cameroon. Time when we talk about marginalization in the before 2017. The day when I picture from Kradai gone for Bush will not just erase all of that, because a people who cry that they don't have roads do not go about destroying roads and road construction equipment. They don't. People, the way they cry say they don't get schools, they don't go about burning the few schools they have. People them, where they cry say they don't get development and infrastructure, do not come publicly on social media and record a video saying that we need to put our money together and devastate Limbe, Kumba, Bamenda, and Boya. They don't do that. It's only a people who are willing to sacrifice their own poorly educated on the ground for political expediency. It is the height of wickedness. Now the Anglophone wickedness, this is what they talk. And then the people, the way they know this to be true, and then they go out there, they go lie. Now the enemies of the Anglophone, you go lie. Say Paul Biya declare war. You go lie about this and that and that. You go tell lies to your own people. When I don't hear from their own mouth, right? From the horse's mouth. They have always been planning to destabilize